Hello, today I'm going to show you how to use RPG Maker MV in order to make a simple game from start to finish and publish to mobile in less than an hour. I'll also make the project file I create available in a link below this video for you to use as a rough guide. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to start a new project file from the File menu. And we're going to name it 1 Hour Project. But we're going to have a different game title because it's just easier for the title screen. We're going to call it Fetch Quest! Exclamation mark. So RPG Maker will copy a lot of files across to your Documents folder for use in your project. And we're given the first map that we see. First we're going to rename it using the Edit option. And we're going to call it our world map because I usually like to make the world map first. And we're going to make it quite small because this is going to be quite a simple fetch quest. I'm going to make it 24 by 24, which is quite a nice size for a medium world map. I'm going to fill the area with grass, and we're going to zoom out a little bit. And first we're going to make it so the player can't leave the map via the edges. So we're going to draw some mountains around the edge, just to give the illusion that it's sort of a self-contained world, so nobody can leave. It's kind of evil like that. And we're going to put some sea at the bottom. We're going to split the world up a bit with a river coming in, because I like this to be quite a linear quest. So I'm going to have you starting at the bottom on one edge, and have you have to travel all the way around the river, giving you a very specific order of where you need to go first. So I'm going to put three sub-maps in this world. There's going to be the hero's house, which starts here, and we're going to put a castle into the game, and I want the player to visit the castle first, but not be able to do anything there yet, so I'm going to put it there, so it's going to be naturally the first place they go to. And I'm going to put a little cave up in the mountains somewhere, which the player will have to do a little bit of exploration to reach. I'm just filling this space here so they can't leave. So if we right click the world map and select new, we can put another sub-map onto the world map, and this is going to be the hero's house. And oh, hold on, I need to change the tile set to the indoors tile set instead of the world map. Inside. And we're just going to fill the floor in with something. We're going to make the hero's family quite poor, I think, so something it's a bit, yeah, like a dim carpet, and the carpet automatically fits to any walls or anything we put into the room, so it'll look quite nice as well. So by selecting two tiles at once, I can draw the wall and the shadow of the wall at the same time. I'm just going to use RPG Maker's pretty nice map editor to make a very simple room. I'm not going to spend too long filling it with things because we're on a strict time limit. I've been arrogant enough to call the project a 1 hour project, so I'm not going to spend too long on each indoor area, but I'm going to put a few beds in because the story for this game that I'm going to try and fit in is that your brother is sick and you've got to go find some medicine by trading a few items around. So there's the mum's bed, your bed, and in the far right corner the sick bed. So I think that'll do, and we're gonna make a castle map for our little castle on the world screen, and they're gonna have a fancier carpet, and this is always my favorite default graphic carpet to use for a castle. And then let's put some castle walls in. For speed, I'm basically going to use the exact same design as the hero's house for doing the walls and have it be a very small single screen map. By right-clicking the tiles, you can, it's basically an eyedropper tool if you right-click on a certain tile, which is how I switch tiles so quickly doing this. And we need a throne, so we're going to highlight the whole throne and just drop it in. And put some pictures around. And make the whole place kind of like the opposite of the hero's house. We'll put some chimneys in, or 2 chimneys, because they're probably pretty well off at the royal household. Let's see, what else can we put in here to differentiate it a bit? Yeah, if we make the carpet more like a path up to the throne to lead the player right there, it also shows off the nice auto-tiling feature of RPG Maker. So as you see, it's filling in the edges of the carpet as we draw along it. We can probably put some pillars or something in there as well to fill the empty space. So we can just select the whole graphic at once. No, that's a bit high on. Okay, and we're just going to space them equally, I think, and put them down from start to finish. I mean, when it comes time to do an RPG yourself, you're probably going to want to put a lot of extra time into doing maps rather than just rushing it like this, but let's move on to the, we're going to make a cave. We're going to make the Hermit's cave, because the Hermit is the man who is going to make our medicine for our sick brother, and he's going to live in a cave. So we've selected the dungeon tile set, and we're going to make the floor a bit. Let's find it. See how that looks. Let's draw this on. Oh no, that blends far too. That's nicer. Okay, so again we're gonna follow the same design as the castle and the hero's house in just making a single room map with a very square out. All we should do if it's a cave, we could kind of round off the edges and just make it look a bit more cave-like. Yeah, that'll be okay. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Gives a nice 3D effect, like it's in a rough cave kind of thing. And he's a hermit and he lives alone and he makes medicine, so there's going to be like pots and bones and stuff, I think. So I don't know if he keeps his dead dogs in the cave. He doesn't tell anybody about it. And so it's a bit bare at the top. Let's see what else we can use in the dungeon tile set. I imagine he'd have like lots of books. So, I mean, he's making medicine and he's a hermit, so he's probably got a lot of books. So just a different bookshelf in. Yeah, he's a well-read hermit. So we've got the three worlds, or the three maps coming off the world map. We've got the home, we've got the castle, we've got the cave, and those are the main areas we're going to use to trade around and get our medicine. So we're going to start with nothing. We're going to get the first item, then the second item. But to link these to the world map, we're going to be using some preset transfer events. So you right click and quick event creation and transfer, and you select where you'd like it to transfer. So for the castle, we'd like it to transfer the player to the entrance to the castle when they touch the castle, but because the castle's 4 tiles in total, we're going to copy that event. But let's put the cave in. So the cave goes straight to the entrance to the Hermits map, and we want the player to face up when he goes in. So we're copying this event so that it doesn't matter where on the castle you touch, it will take you into the castle. And now we're going to do the reverse, and we're going to set up some quick transfer events to the world map so that when you touch them, you will be teleported out to the world map. And the direction, you don't really need to set the direction of where they're going to be facing when they teleport out, but I don't know, it's just an old habit. So I like to set which direction they're going to arrive in. Retain will just mean whichever direction they walk onto the event from, they will then be facing that direction on the world map. So we copy this event 3 times, so it doesn't matter where in the castle. If you exit the castle on a certain tile, it will always take you out to the world map. We don't need to do that for the cave because there's only 1 tile which leads to the exit. But for the castle and the hero's house, there's 3 tiles that the player could possibly stand on. So we're going to set the start position to the hero's house. So set starting position player, and we're going to test play the game. And with any luck, we should be able to walk around the world and enter each area. So we start with the default RPG Maker party, which is 4 people with 3 of them following your every move, which is not really what we want for this game. We're just going to have a single player, so I'll show you how to change that in a moment. So RPG Maker takes care of the depth of certain tiles, like the pillars shown there, and the transfers should all work properly. We're going from the world map to the cave, and it brings us into the cave. Yeah, so that's nice. And then back to the world map. So let me just check the hero's house, and then we can safely say all the transfers are working. Yep, good, it's looking good. Now we're going to exit the playtest here, and we're going to start putting in our events. So the other non-player characters into the game, which we're going to be trading with to complete the quest and save our sick brother. So first we're going to name this event Mother, and we're going to set the graphic to, we're going to find an old lady looking type. There's the grandma graphic, so I think that's probably the best one to be using. I'm going to have her sitting at the table sideways, and by clicking show text we can have her say something when we speak to her. So just something very basic, and we're going to put her face old happy granny. She looks a bit happy about your brother being sick, but we'll worry about that later. I'm gonna put him in on the bed. I'm gonna call that brother and set the the little boy graphic. We're gonna have him lying on his side on the bed, facing away from you because he's sick. And we'll have him say when you talk to him, cough, cough, couch, cough couch. And okay. And oh no, hold on. I'm gonna put his face on that text box. Otherwise, it would just show up no face on there. We can't have that. Can't have that at all. Okay. We're gonna play test that. So there we go. We've got the mother who will tell us our brother is very sick, and we've got our sick brother who he also says he's very sick and he's not a couch. So done with that, and we're going to set our party to just be one person instead of 4 people, and that is in the System tab of the database. So we're going to delete these 3 people from the starting party. And we're going to rename the main character from Harold to Lucy, which is my wife's name. So we're going to change it to a girl sprite. Find one with brown hair, because she has brown hair. And yeah, that's quite nice. So we're going to set the brown hair, and for the face we're going to go to the same screen, and the corresponding graphic is a man, not a woman, but he has a beard and one eye, also like my wife, so she'll just have to be bearded for now. We're not going to have any battles in this game. It's just going to be a simple fetch quest, so I'm not too worried about the battle graphic, so we're going to leave it for now. You'll never see it, so there's nothing to worry about. And let's see. If we play test this now, we'll see we've got the character who looks like my wife with a beard and one eye, and nobody following us around anymore, so that's much better. And we're going to set up some items. We're just going to rename the default items for now. We're going to call the potion medicine, because that's the item we're going to use for your brother. So I don't know if you'll actually see these descriptions during the game, but we're going to change the magic water into the royal tears, because we're going to trade with the princess for a vial of royal tears, which is going to be from the... I'm going to use it in the Hermits recipe. Okay, and I think that'll do for now. I'm just going to use those 2 items to begin with. So now we're going to do some coding on the events. But see, we'll put the princess in. So the princess will be this graphic, just for ease, I think. And we're going to name it the princess. And she can just sit there for now, and we're going to add the hermit into his cave, just so that we have all the events in place ready for use. So Hermit. So we're going to flesh these events out a bit so they actually start working as a game. So this is the default event, but we're going to just flesh it out a little. Okay, so using the preview you can see, make sure that all the text fits on nicely. And we're going to make a new event page with which is active when the player has medicine in their inventory. So once the player has medicine in their inventory, instead of doing the previous page's code, we're going to be using this page's code. So once again, we're going to set the graphic to the old lady, but we're going to have her face the camera because just so I can easily see if it's working properly. So let's stick her face on there. Oh, now she's genuinely happy because we've got the medicine that we need. Thank goodness you found some medicine. So this will actually be happening at the very end of the game once you've got the brother's medicine. But it's good to be organized with what's going to be happening. Since I think we need to hammer home that Lucy is her daughter, despite having one eye and a beard. Okay, and the brother. Now we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to I'm going to flesh out what he says. If only I had a beard. So he can be healed if he had a beard, but some medicine will do as well. So again, we're going to, this is his default event, but if the player has medicine in their inventory, it will do this page. So we're going to have him sat up in bed when you have the medicine, and select. And if you do have the medicine, this will basically be the end of the game, and you'll get a game over or return to the title screen. Oh goodness! We'll both say thank goodness. And have him hint that maybe it wasn't a good idea to heal him after all if it was a full game, but I think we're running short on time, so we'll just have to leave it open to interpretation. The brother kind of looks like a little girl, and his sister looks like a grizzled old man, so I guess that makes sense. So when you give him the medicine, we will be returning to the title screen, and that will be the end of the game. So right now, if we had medicine in our inventory, we could end the game without ever having to leave the house. So since we don't have medicine in the inventory, they should still be, yep, they'll just be talking about their sad existence. Okay, so what we're going to do is, just to test it, we're going to put a treasure chest, and inside it we're going to put an item with medicine, So now when we open the treasure chest, we should see their events change. So he's very sick. This is the default event. Medicine was found. So we're gonna oh, she's found the medicine. So if we give the medicine to the brother, we should then complete the game. Oh, sorry, the game screen's off screen there, so. But that's basically completing the game without having to leave the house, but it was a good thing to test. We're going to add another item, which is the Hermit's recipe. And this will be, you'll have to give this recipe to the princess in order to get her tears for the medicine. Okay. So we're going to give her the default action where she's just going to say, I can't do anything for your sick brother, go away. Let's give her the face. Oh my, what a full and luscious beard you have. And she's not going to be able to help us right now. So she's going to be very busy until we've got the recipe from the hermit to show her. Okay. So it's always good practice to press preview just to make sure that it all fits. So we're going to give her the same graphic again, but this time this is when you have the recipe from the hermit. So we're going to that. So this is the first sort of swapping we're going to be doing. We're going to oh my, I'm gonna see need some tears for the medicine. That's pretty weird. I think we're gonna make it so the hermit doesn't actually need her tears. So she's gonna be emotional about my beard. So the tears will easily come. Yeah, I think we're gonna have it so the hermit asks for the princess's tears in order to make the medicine, but he doesn't actually need them. He's just a weird old man. And that would be quite nice. So we click change items. So we're going to take away the hermit's recipe, which you'll have at this point. So we'll decrease hermit's recipe by 1 and increase royal tears by 1. So we take away the hermit's recipe and we give the royal tears. So we're going to do some narration here, so there's not going to be a face on this bit. So the princess cried into a small vial and gave it to... So yeah, it's a weird ingredient, so I want the player to wonder why you need princess's tears in order to make medicine for your brother. So we're going to make a new event page. We're going to give her the same graphic again. But this is for when you have medicine. So once you've completed the trade for her tears and you have the medicine from the hermit, this will be sort of like a catch for if you speak to her again before giving it to your brother. So it made good use of my tears. I don't know what he's gonna... I'll have him drink them or something. So... apply. And that will fire if you've got the medicine. So we're using 3 event pages for the princess instead of 2. So most people have 2. And I think the hermit is... see how many the hermit will need. So first off, the first time you speak to him, you're not going to have anything, because this is where the quest starts. So the first thing you need to collect from him is the recipe. Rumble, rumble. So we're going to tell him the brother is sick, and he needs the princess's tears to make medicine. Well, he's got a beard as well, so not turn away a fellow beard. It's not a bearded man, a beard owner. So we're not going to have enough room to write this text. So we'll move it on to 2 text boxes. Yeah. I'll make some medicine for your brother. Will we fit ingredients? Yeah. So we're just going to add in a new text to say we need the princess's tears to... Yeah. To even begin. I'm going to have him avoid saying he needs it as a specific ingredient, because he's just going to be a pervy old man wanting princess tears. Give this recipe. It's going to fit. Give this note to the princess. The castle. Here's me. Not sure what favour she owes him, but it's always nice to imply there's some backstory. Okay, so this time, if the player has the royal tears, this is what the hermit will say. Let's stick his graphic on. So if you have the royal tears, this will be the event page which fires. So alright, go fetch the tears. One moment. I'm gonna have him drink the tears instead of use them as an ingredient. Mix up. Or maybe he's not even gonna mix up the medicine. He's gonna already have the medicine in his pocket, I think. Just to show he's a shady old man living in a cave. He drinks the tears from the vial. And make some shady noises. The groan, pleasurable noises. And then reaches into his pocket and pulls Bottle of medicine. Okay, so that was narration, so it doesn't have a picture of associated with it. And now he's gonna brag about that. So we're adding medicine to the inventory, and we're gonna take away the royal tears. So we're gonna have him brag about how difficult making medicine is, even though he had it already pre-made in his pocket. There you go. That's locked off. Okay. And I think that should do it. Though, have we added... Oh no, we need to add the... Oh, they're the wrong way around, it's fine. Okay, so add him in. So, if you have the medicine, he'll just tell it to give it to your brother. He's basically used you for his weird fetish. Sweet, sweet princess tears. And, okay. So... Oh, we need to the item, which was the recipe. So the old man gives you a recipe for the princess, and in the items, change items, we're going to add the Hermit's recipe. And since you don't have anything else in your inventory when this happens, that's all you need. I think that should, I think that completes it. So let's get rid of this test chest, because we don't need to get the medicine from our house anymore. And I think that should work. It should all string together quite nicely now. So we'll start a new game. Here we are in the house. Without medicine, your brother will surely die. Okay, so now the first place we should visit should be the Hermit, but check the castle, because it's the first place people will go. A full and luscious beard you have. Okay, so we don't have anything in our inventory, so she's just going to tell us to go away. So we trek up here and we see a cave in the mountains. And the Hermit's inside. Oh, your brother is sick. Well, I'm not one to turn away a fellow beard owner. So before he even thinks about making the royal tear, he's going to need some royal tears. So we've got the recipe. So if we check our inventory now, so we've got the Hermit's recipe in our inventory after speaking to the Hermit. So once we have that item in our inventory, when we go to the castle, the princess will take the recipe and should give us the royal tears. So the princess cried into a small vial and gave it to you. What a weird ingredient. So if we check our items again, we've now no longer got the recipe, we've now got some royal tears. So we take the royal tears back to the Hermit, and we present them, and he should give us the medicine. He's being weird. It's a lot of hard work mixing medicine. And if we speak to him again with the medicine in our inventory, I'll give that medicine to your brother. Sweet princess tears. So now we can dash back to Princess. Let's see what she says. Yep, that's her third event page firing there because we've got the medicine. And we should be able to finish the game by going to our house, speaking to our mother. Give it to your brother, you're the best bearded daughter. Thank goodness I'll be healthy again. I hope I don't end up as the bad guy in a surprise twist at the end of the game. And then it takes you back to the title screen. So there's a nice little fetch quest. Not sure it makes a good entire game, but now we're going to be testing out the new export options for RPG Maker MV. So let's go to deployment, and we're just going to go straight up and just go to Android/iOS. So what this does is it exports the game as an HTML structure of files. So it's in HTML5, uses JavaScript. But what that means is we can package it. If we open up here, so everything in this www folder, which is 300 megabytes, nice. So basically, before we package it for Android, we're going to go through these folders and just remove any assets we didn't use. There's no automated way of doing this yet, so basically the less assets you use, the smaller your overall file size will be. I know that theme 6 is used for the title screen, so we're going to keep that in there. And let's see what that's taken off already. Okay, so we're down to 250 megabytes for the file size. We can get it much smaller, I think, because there's a lot of things we're not going to be using in this game. So we don't use any parallaxing or enemies, or we don't have any battles, so we don't need any of that. There's no battle animations, so we're going to get rid of those. Let's see. The title, we use the castle image as the title, that one. So we're going to get rid of all of the other title screens because they're quite large. Delete that. And delete the second title screens. We don't have any enemies in the game, so we're just going to get rid of all of these from the package. I'm sure at some point somebody will make a script for running through your game and removing any assets you're not using. But for now, I'm just going to cut all of the fat out of the game file manually, which is it's a pain, but I'm only going to be doing it once, so it's not an issue. Let's get rid of the... We don't need any of these. I don't think we need any of the sound effects, so we're just going to get rid of all of the sound effects. If it fails later, we'll just replace them. Let's see what we've got now. So, 37 megabytes, brilliant. You're not going to get much smaller than that. So this is a very, very basic game. We open up Intel XDK, which is great software for packaging HTML5 games for Android or iOS. You need to sign up for it. I've already signed up and I'm signed in. So you'll have to sign up yourself. So we're going to click a new project. So once you're logged in, you'll get the option to start a new project, and that's what we're going to be doing. And we're just going to do a standard HTML5 project. So we're going to go over to the templates, and we're going to select a standard HTML5 project. Okay. And then yeah, just standard's fine. And we are going to give it a project name. we're not going to change the location of where it is, just for simplicity at the moment, because I think we're pretty short on time in this hour. So we create the project. The project is very bare bones and basic at the moment, but what we're going to do is we are going to open the deployment from RPG Maker, and we're going to open the empty template project from the XDK. That's okay, so here's our www folder from the project. I'm going to delete the template folder and copy our own into it, which should let us run the game in the XDK emulator to see for the first time what it would look like on a mobile device. And there we go. Make it bigger. So this is what it would be like running on a mobile device. So this is good for testing. You can test with a keyboard, or you can use mouse touchscreen. Click the events to talk to them. It's not an entirely streamlined process, but it's still pretty good for a day one kind of thing. So we're going to use Crosswalk for Android to build into an APK. And this will take a few minutes, and then the build will take a few minutes. So I'm going to leave you there while we skip some time, because it's just waiting from here on out, and I have no idea how long it'll take, so I should see you in a few minutes. Okay, so this build took a couple of minutes, but once it's completed, you just click the download Crosswalk APKs, and you get some folders on your wherever you save it to, which contain the APK for ARM devices and x86 devices. So the APK for ARM devices is what most people are going to be using for their phones or tablets. There's a few cases where it'll be x86, but when you're uploading it to the Play Store, you're going to be using both of them. Google's going to ask for both to support all devices, and as far as I'm aware, both work fine. This was when I installed the APK on my cheap Amazon Fire 7-inch tablet, so it's a bit laggy, but it works just fine. You use the touch controls to talk to everybody, and it was very little effort at all compared to a lot of other pieces of software for getting an Android build done. You can also do an iOS build if you have the certificates. I used my Apple developer account certificates to try and make a build, but I'm going to have to look more into that. It's definitely something that'll take at least another hour to work out, jumping through Apple's hoops, but it'll be worth it in the end, I think. So yeah, the game runs fine on the tablet. I had to build it again because I deleted some assets folders, which I shouldn't, but overall, it's a really good process, and it was a lot of fun to do. So if you can build an RPG from scratch in less than an hour, then that gets my thumbs up. Thumbs up.